Hollow Knight hit a lot under the surface, and so did a character that changes this game. While we love Cornifer for the maps and the comic relief, his full purpose is far more interesting. He's the spiritual voice of the game's two creators, dropping hints for the player about their motives and what the game's really all about, down to its most pivotal ending. He's meant to shed light on their entire philosophy toward the game, and it shows us how we were meant to approach Silksong, and the upcoming Sea of Sorrow DLC. After over a decade away, I wanted my return to YouTube to be collaborative, so I invited my good friend Josh along for the ride. But I'll be honest, he rage quit Hollow Knight after an hour or two of getting lost. Abandoned the game for months, left a 1-star review, sued Team Cherry. It really got out of hand fast, but I finally managed to talk him into giving it one last shot. This time, he found Cornifer, humming in the Forgotten Crossroads. In Josh's words, the map he sold at that point in the playthrough was like water in a desert, quenching my thirst for order in this chaotic space. And no, that's not a paraphrase, Josh is just really cheesy like that, but it's Cornifer's words that really changed the game for him. Hello there. Come down to explore these beautiful old ruins? Don't mind me, I have a fondness for exploring myself. Getting lost and finding your way again is a pleasure like no other. We're exquisitely lucky, you and I. Or at least I assume that's how he would sound. Maybe it would be more like, hello there, come down to explore. That's when Josh says it clicked for him. The intended experience of Hollow Knight actually requires you to get lost. Cornifer's words here echo those of co-creator Pellen. We kind of ask for a lot of faith from players, that if you do get lost, if you explore you'll eventually find your way, and it'll be worth it, and even when you do get lost you'll stumble across something. You won't just spend an hour going through the same caves. We try to put in a lot of little secrets, little things to see. That's what so many people don't get about Hollow Knight. Gamer. Unlike most games of exploration, its payoff comes even before you find your way, if you keep your eyes open. The devs use Cornifer to hint that the world we're wandering through is more than it seems, urging us not to sleep on it. Notice his wonder at Hallownest's beauty and mysteries, even while acknowledging its challenges. Yes, you'll frequently wander in circles without even knowing where you're going or how to get back. But in a world of so many little secrets, it's a constant opportunity for discovery. There are no cutscene tutorials to lead you along. These would remind you that you're playing a game. In this immersive world, you have to find Cornifer organically, and if you don't, the game lets you struggle onward without the help of its maps. The adventure is real and organic. That's what makes it so special when you finally find your way. And remember, Pellen promised that it would be worth it when you do. There may have been a deeper meaning to these words. They seem to hint at more than finding your way in the literal sense. They speak to the completion of the game and why it matters. As we'll soon see, one ending and its meaning are foreshadowed by our last encounter with Cornifer. But in the meantime, say you do find Cornifer and talk to him. Even then, he won't direct you, and his maps are incomplete. They don't kill the adventure, they actually goad you into further exploration to fill them in. It's not a unique mechanic, but in the context of a game with so few guardrails, it's special. Ari and Will called building Hallownest a joy, and they channeled it into Cornifer's emotions for exploring it. If you strike him with the dream nail to read his thoughts, you find, to chart the world. What joy. But there's more going on here than excitement for exploration. That word joy is telling. It's deeper than the fleeting rush of happiness. It's tied to a sense of purpose based in the belief that this journey means something beyond just being fun. And the journey isn't always fun. As reflected by Josh rage quitting, and even by our cheerful man Cornifer, whose humming is replaced by a terrified silence in Deep Nest. He doesn't hide his fear or any of his shortcomings, which are frequently acknowledged in comedic fashion. Unlike so many other bugs, his mission goes beyond the thrill, beyond the dopamine rush, and beyond the pride. His maps matter immensely to the lost wanderers of Hallownest, and apart from love of the game and helping Zelda to make ends meet, he has no other apparent motives. It's fitting that he sleeps with the peace of a meaningful completion when we see him last. Rest. The very mechanic that updates his maps is an important theme in Hollow Knight, highlighted in its most decisive ending. The true rest at the end of Cornifer's arc is a conclusion shared only by others who lack pride or vain attachments. It's a select few. Like, let's look to the Spirit's Glade of the Resting Grounds, where many spirits aren't actually resting or aren't fully content, clinging to irrelevant concerns that once brought them pride or happiness in life. Interestingly, by contrast, those who have found peace make no mention of lasting frivolous attachments. It's here where I'll dive into the aforementioned decisive ending and its core message, so you can stop here if you don't want anything spoiled. thought of letting go of many of our attachments to embrace eternal rest may seem daunting or spooky, but the game understands that the resulting peace has long been the goal of spiritual seekers across the globe, and of its endings, Dream No More's final rest for the night and its siblings feels like the ideal. Many claim it as the game's true ending, and while Team Cherry has deemed them all equal, the events of Silksong imply that only certain endings could have been possible. Without spoiling for those who haven't played, this is one of them. Until this ending, Hallownest had shown countless attempts at meaningful work and in horror rather than peace. The game may have even conveyed a sort of hopelessness, seemingly overshadowing the small victories like Cornifer's. But of course, these failures were often riddled with hubris, while Cornifer lacked this pride, sharing more of his limitations or fears than accomplishments. In a funny way, he showed us what characters without vain attachment, like your partly Hollow Knight, might be able to find at the end of their journeys in this game. That they might succeed where the prideful failed. And in Dream No More, your perseverance is rewarded. It's not a happy ending, but it's a peaceful one. A fractal that reflects the conclusion of Cornifer's little arc that came before it. But Cornifer's rest isn't eternal. Not yet. He's in the same place we are. New adventures will come, and with them new challenges, driving you to throw the remote like Josh, or to joy like Cornifer. Just look at the divided reactions to Silksong's difficulty, which took Hollow Knight's challenge and turned it up like 20 notches. If you haven't played it, you shouldn't expect it to always be a fun experience necessarily. Unless you're an S-tier gamer, it's gonna test you. I imagine Sea of Sorrow will be the same way. It looks like it'll be taking us down to the depths of the salt-stricken waters at the edge of Farland, and I doubt it's taking us down there for a cakewalk. But by embracing that challenge and keeping a discerning eye open to see what we can learn from it, both about ourselves and about the spiritual truths the game's built on, the journey could serve as kind of an incomplete map, teaching us things that might lead us one step closer to true rest. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon for the Silksong and Sea of Sorrow follow-ups. If Josh doesn't ruin them with his rage, that is.